Hello, everyone, and welcome to day one of our Sudorite for Beginners series. I'm Nicole. This is a 7-day series. Today is going to start off kind of slow. I'm going to show you some Sudorite settings, resource links, all of that before we dive into a couple of the features. The rest of the days will be heavily feature packed. So if you can attend each day, awesome, great. If you can't, this is being recorded, so it will go up in the Discord course videos channel as soon as they get that posted. And this will likely be on my YouTube channel as well. So here's the plan, and plans can change if something comes up. But each day we're going to go through a few of the features on Sudorite. I'm really going to work hard to not overwhelm you. There are some days that I know people just always say that was a lot of information. So again, if you need me to repeat something, clarify something, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. That's what I'm here for, to help you learn Sudorite. And by the end of this week, you should have all of the basics down. So, meaning you should know where each feature is, you should know where to click, and the basics of how to use them. And then you can attend all of the other classes to learn more about each feature in particular, do the deep dive sessions and all of that. I highly recommend attending classes with other teachers. We all teach Sudorite the way we use it, and that's in various ways. So one person's methods may click with you more than somebody else's, or you might like to mix and match ideas. So please attend the other teachers' classes and learn from them as well. Again, you're always welcome to interrupt me, speak up. You can ask in chat. My co-host will answer questions. Other experienced users might answer the questions as well, or they may call out the questions for me to answer on the recording. The last day will be split, so we'll focus probably half the hour on demoing the last of the features that I want to show y'all, and then it's going to be a Q&A. So right now, I am going to tell you a little bit about me and show you the curriculum that we have planned for y'all. All right, so who am I? Again, I'm Nicole Broussard. I'm from Louisiana. I started writing in 2019. It was something that helped me get through a very dark time in my life. Many people have heard that story before. I won't bore y'all with it, but writing pretty much saved me. And a couple of years later, I found Sudorite. So I've been using it for about 3 years and teaching for about 2.5 years. I've also been one of their ambassadors for that long, and I am one of the lead ambassadors. And I have a book to help you learn how to use Sudorite. This is a little bit out of date. Sorry about that, but things change so fast with AI in general and with Sudorite. I updated this book 3 times in 6 months before I gave up. Okay, but I still think it has a lot of useful features in it, or useful tips. I talk a lot about style and genre in here, which is a big part of getting the AI to write the way you want it to write. So not trying to sell you on it. If you don't want to get it, no big deal, but it is available if you're the type that likes stuff in writing. And of course, it is on KU. I will also be releasing a second edition in sometime next year, early next year, as early as possible. So there are continuous resources for y'all. In addition to the book, I have a YouTube channel. I talk about mainly Sudorite, but I do talk about how authors can use AI in general. This is a Notion document. I am going to link it to you. If you are unfamiliar with how to use Notion, there was a class right here that you can watch to help you show you all the little tips and everything. So let me link this. There you go. All right, so here is the planned curriculum. Again, things could change. Today, we're going to be going over the Sudorite settings, the resource links that I have available for you, and we're going to use a couple of features, Brainstorm and First Draft. Those are one of my favorite features. And you'll see here I've broken down each day up to our last. Each one also has homework if you choose to do that. I'm not your teacher, I'm not your parent. You don't get a bad grade or anything if you don't do the homework. But if you can do this, each day's homework, I think it will help you a lot. I have gotten people to say that. I've gotten people to say that sounds like I forced them. People have said that doing that each day's homework did help them understand things a little bit better. Again, keep in mind, I'm teaching Sudorite the way I like to use it. That's what I know. I don't want to teach you somebody else's method because I may get something wrong or mess it up. I will teach you what I know and how I like to use it. One of the biggest tips I can give you as a beginner. Experienced users, forgive me, y'all have heard this spiel 100 times. If you are new to using Sudorite, I highly, highly, highly recommend you start a project from scratch. I know you want to keep working on that work in progress. I know you have this big story idea that you want to keep writing. That's why you're here. But please trust me, I've been there. I spent 2 weeks struggling when I found Sudorite, trying to get it to write the stories that I had in mind. And I realized I'm trying to get the AI, the program, to do something, and yet I don't even know how to instruct it to do that. You just mute it right here. There we go. So I do recommend a throwaway project. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a full-length novel or anything, okay? I recommend using a fairy tale. They work great for any genres. You know how the original story went, so you might already have some ideas of how you would like to see that story changed up. Working with the program in that way lets you get mentally comfortable with making changes. So you're not frustrated when it doesn't make that character talk exactly the way you imagine they're talking. Because again, you're still learning how to use it. Doing this project from scratch, you just really need to go through all of the features in 1 or 2 chapters, understanding, oh, this is what it did with my instructions. This is what it thinks of that word. This is how I improved. That's what doing that scratch project helps you to do. So that is my big #1 tip. I will have some story premises y'all can work with. You're free to use those or your own, but please do a story from scratch, okay? Give it a shot just this week. So each day has the homework and just some little notes. Went through that spiel. This is one of the stories I did before. I actually love the results. You're actually going to see reference to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a retelling of that in this document. You're welcome to use it. I used it during the last series, so I'm probably going to switch things up and do another story. Not exactly sure what yet. You're going to discover that with me. Let's get into our resources available to you before we actually get started inside the program. FAQ and resources right here, docs.sudorite.com. This is a great place to browse for answers, look at everything they have here, and you can also ask the AI something. Open it up. I've tested this. Others have tested this, asking it a few intricate questions, and it works pretty well. It is not 100%. Some things still need to be updated. Again, with the changes AI makes and Sudorite, it is very, very hard to keep a written document of everything as it is because stuff changes so much. It's a full-time job, honestly. But you can see it answered that question right there. And we're actually going to look at that stuff anyways. Our Discord server. This is where you'll get the most help, the most varied opinions. I'm going to show you this real quick as well. You can click that link I sent, or you can also just go here to the question mark icon inside Sudorite and click to join the Discord right there. That's the easiest way. I also highly recommend the app instead of the browser. The browser annoys me for some reason. I like the app because it keeps me logged in and I can just click it, open it whenever I want. We do have a new Facebook group. It is small. So if you want lots of interaction, lots of people to meet to create that, foster that community. Discord's where you want to be, but I know it's not for everyone. So we do have a Facebook group. You're welcome to join that. You're welcome to be in both. And of course, we have classes like this. Classes are always free, y'all. And that will look like this for anybody that does not have it. This is our Luma page. I keep it in my favorites bar right here. So you can see we're in day 1. Tomorrow is day 2. And there's also lots of other classes. Plugins class happens every Monday. Lots of different things that go on each month. So be sure to check them out. You do have to register for each day for this week. If you want to show up for the class, you do need to register for it, okay? One thing I want you to note is Friday, the time starts a little bit different, okay? It's going to start 30 minutes later. We're just running into, we need a little cushion there. So check that out. All right, any question on any of those resources or the curriculum that we have planned for this week?
What is office hours?
That is what Michael usually hosts, and it's kind of like a big Q&A. If you're really having an issue, you can bring it up in office hours. He might be able to work it out with you there. They might also demo if a new feature is coming out or an update. They usually show it there.
Okay.
Thank you for posting that link, Jade. The Discord link is here, right here. Under the day 1 topics, toggle that arrow, and there's the Discord server, or again, click the question mark inside of your Sudorite. All right, I think we're good then. All right, so we are going to start with first draft and brainstorm today. I actually am already moving faster than I planned. Hopefully this works out well for timing. I'm notorious for going over, y'all. I do apologize, but not really. All right. Let's look at the basics here inside Sudorite, starting at the top right. The gear icon is where you could change up some themes and your fonts right here. So you can pick whatever. I said last round I was going to mess with this. I still haven't done that. I had left this at the default. Change your text size, line spacing, or your theme. I normally have mine on charcoal, but for my teaching account, I've been told it's hard for participants to see things, so I've been leaving that on the sorbet. But check it out, those themes right there, and see what you like. This is also where you can see your credits and do stuff with your billing and see deleted projects. So on the 3 dots here, I can actually delete things, and then it goes and it stays over here in the deleted projects until I delete things permanently. So you can see here, permanently delete. Permanently delete, y'all. Please understand that. That first delete is fine. It basically shoves it in the trash can. This is you taking the trash to the road and throwing it in the dump truck, and they are taking it somewhere and burning it, okay? So I always say don't permanently delete until it's published and everything's good. So here is your credits right here. It'll show you how many you have left for the month. And we're going to look at the memberships and stuff too. So hold off on questions on that, please. You'll see mine has a little hover box. If you've never bought a credit pack, and I'm going to show you what credit packs are. If you've never bought a credit pack, you're not going to see that little box that pops up. Once you do buy a credit pack, you will see that box. It's a way for you to understand, okay, these are my monthly credits that are going to expire, but credit packs do not expire. So it's telling you this many credits expire, this many credits do not expire. It also tells you when your rollover is, or your monthly renewal. So buy more credits. If I'm getting low, I still have a couple of weeks till my renewal comes up and I get more credits, I can come and buy a credit pack. And again, these do not ever expire, okay? You could buy them at any time. You don't have to be running low. You don't have to be getting close to your renewal. At any time, you could buy credit packs. and they will stay in your account until you use them. So you have 2 weeks until your monthly stuff comes up. You're low on credits. You need to buy some. Let's say you buy this 2 million pack. You only use 1 million of it before your renewal comes around, and now you have your monthly credits again. The system will revert to using those monthly credits. So it'll stop using these. It'll go back to using your monthly credits that do expire at the end of the month. And then if you run out again, it'll go back to using whatever's left of this. This show recent activity, this is something we'll probably refer to throughout. You can always ask me to, hey, what was the credit cost of that? And I can show you.
Hey, I just wanted to ask, how do you see all your this just shows a very few recent activities. Is there somewhere to see all your activity?
There is not. That has been a highly requested thing. So you might want to look in the feature request channel in the Discord, or go to, I'll post this link right here.
Thanks.
Again, people have requested it. So you can look and see. Let's search it up. Not seeing anything.
Don't worry about it. It was just if you had it, I wanted to know where it
Yeah.
was.
And it looks like Jade has made a request. So you can go over here and upvote it if you'd like. This is how they keep track of how many people want something. Y'all keep that in mind, okay? So here is where this website that I linked is where you can make a suggestion and you can upvote them. The more votes something gets, the higher up on the list that it goes. And they say, hey, a lot of people are really wanting this. Let's look and see if this is something we can do. So your vote counts. As cheesy as that is, your vote counts, okay? So you see my little credits here. I am on the max plan, so my stuff is rolling over. And let's hide that. And if you need to do anything with your billing, you could click here. It's going to bring up your credit card information, address, all those things. You can change your credit card or whatever associated with it. They are looking at other options, other payment options. Right now, it's through Stripe with a credit card, debit card. They're looking at other things. So that's coming soon. Manage membership. This is how you get started and how you can change your plan, okay? Pay attention to this toggle. I've heard many people don't realize it's on the yearly. Maybe they were comparing, or it might have even defaulted. I'm not sure. But pay attention on if it's on yearly or monthly. People will subscribe. They think, oh, I'm just doing the monthly thing, and they get charged for a whole year, and, sticker shock. The team is great about, if you email and say, hey, I really only meant to do a month, but it did a year, they're great about refunding you, okay? So don't be scared or panic if that does happen. Just reach out to the customer service team. These are the different plans that we offer. This one's a grandfathered in plan, so you're not going to see that. This is what you're going to see, these three right here. And that's the yearly difference. So 10, 22, 44, monthly, like that. Now, how many credits do you need each month? How do you know which plan to buy? I can't answer that for you. All I can say is at any time, it doesn't matter if you went monthly or yearly. At any time, if you decide I need to go down or up, you can do that. You can actually just switch here. You can pause or cancel, but if you did the yearly, you can't pause. It'll only pause like after your next year renewal comes up. So if you need to pause right now, you need to reach out to customer service. If you're on the monthly, month to month you're paying, you can pause at any time here. And of course, you can cancel as well. But when it comes to deciding which one you need, I used to be on the middle plan. And I would say, barring the first couple of months, that was a huge learning curve. The first month for sure, typically the first 2 months, you're going to burn through your credits, and that's a good thing. Okay, that's how you learn, is you experiment. Just consider those credits an investment in your learning. So the first 2 months are not a great indicator of how many credits you're going to use. I bought an obscene amount to learn and kept going through them. Eventually, though, I got to where that middle plan was just right for me. I'd be getting low right around the time my plan was ready to renew. But if you're only writing a little bit at a time, or it's just hobby for fun, you might prefer this. So again, don't think you're locked into anything. Even if you do the yearly, you can still say, I want to switch and do a different plan. Right, so that is all in the gear icon. And that is actually your homework for today. Go to that gear icon, come up with your preferred settings. So do you want sorbet? Do you want charcoal? Some other thing, your font, all of those things. And the question mark is your list of resources. So that link to our Luma page where you can find the classes right here, the docs.sudorite that I linked, that's here, Discord, their YouTube channel. And then of course you have some stuff right here. So you can suggest a feature, it'll bring you to that website. You can report a bug. If something isn't working right in your project, you can report the bug right here. Now I'm not in a project, so it's not going to have it, but if I was, down here in the URL, it would actually have a project link to that project so they can investigate, see what happened. When you report a bug, try to give them as much information as possible, okay? What were you doing when it happened? If you were in first draft, what were you trying to get it to do, maybe? Something along those lines. If you could take screenshots or a little video recording, that's great too. But what this does, it's meant to help them replicate the issue. It's hard for them to spot the cause if they can't replicate it. So try to give them as many details as possible as what you were doing and what happened. And then just submit it. Easy peasy. And of course, you can email them hi@sudorite.com. That's hi, H-I, like you're waving, not like you're having fun. Right. So those are all of the settings. Now let's get into actually creating a project. So you have this new button up here. I can click that. I can create a project, a folder, or series. We're going to talk more about these on the last day, but I'll show you what the difference is. So this right here is just a project. When I click that project, that's what it's making. If I click the folder, this was the one that's making, and it's just keeping everything contained for me. If I click series, it is doing our series folder, which means stuff is connected. And again, we're going to go over this on Friday, y'all. But that's the different types of stuff here in the new. If you want Sudorite to create a project for you because you already have, let's say, a bunch of handwritten note, or not handwritten, bunch of notes and things like that, you can click this import right here. I want to point something out real quick. There is this import, and there's an import inside the project. This import will only do documents, okay? This import is what's you telling the AI, okay, I have characters, world building, an outline. I have all of these things. I need you to make sense of it for me and do something with it. That is what this import on the home page does. And you see the files that you need right here. So I know I said, if you're new to Sudorite, start with that project from scratch. But if you already have something that has a lot of documents, notes, things like that, put everything together in one document. It's limited to 120K words for this file, for this import. And then upload it. It will create a project for you. And then please set it aside and then do your project from scratch to learn Sudorite, okay? But this is free right now, so I encourage you to import and see what it does for you. So we're going to create a new project. So I just went to the new and clicked project. It will number it. And I'm going to change it to put whatever title in there that you want, obviously. The second portion of your homework is going to be coming up with a story premise. So again, there is some Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs prompts throughout this. So if you want to use those, you're welcome to. They're right here. So this is what I used in first draft that I'm about to show y'all. And brainstorm prompts, things like that.
I may have missed something, but are we supposed to be able to get to this document you're showing on the screen right now?
Yes, ma'am, I shared it in the
Oh,
chat.
I'll look back in the chat,
I'll
thanks.
grab it for you real quick. Oh, thank you, Harper.
Thank you.
All right. I want to pull up this one. So again, this first draft prompt is what we did last round for the 7-day series. We did a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs retelling. So I was giving first draft all of this. You're welcome to use it. And then I also linked right here this Google document with other prompts. So I'm actually going to use one of these while we play around with it. First draft is one of my favorite features. It is very versatile, y'all. It is not hooked up to the story Bible, so if I filled out my characters, world building, all of that, it's not seeing that information. It is a self-contained feature at the moment. But to get to first draft, you need to be in a blank document like this. I cannot have anything written in this body. I can have a title right here. That's fine, but I cannot have anything written here. And you go to the plugins menu, scroll down, and there's first draft. So you see it here, first draft. First draft is still there. First draft is no longer there. And I'm repeating myself, I know, but I can't tell you how many times people are like, hey, I'm not seeing first draft. You cannot have anything here. Let's see if even a space might mess it up. No, space does not. But just a single letter, first draft is not going to appear in that drop down. All right, so we're going to click on first draft and bring it up. This box, last I checked, it holds about 900 words, okay? You can paste in more, but it'll give you an error message at the bottom and it won't actually process it. So you could put about 900 words in here. It is something that you can also do for nonfiction. So we can say, write an outline for a nonfiction book about write an outline for a nonfiction book about becoming an author. Let's see. Click go. And there are some nonfiction classes. Manon hosts a couple. And in the Discord course videos channel, there is one that she and I hosted together. So she shows you how she likes to do nonfiction inside Sudorite. And I showed my preferred methods for it. So if you're a nonfiction author, check that out. You can also message me. While this is good, I actually prefer to do my nonfiction another way now with my plugins that I have. But if I wanted to stay working here in first draft, my next step would be to copy each of these little sections and do the same thing. So I would go to a new document. Scroll down to first draft again. Tell it to write the following chapters for a nonfiction book. Paste in what it gave me and go. So that's one way to do nonfiction right there. But first draft is really good for other things. It can do character backstories, character detailed character sheets, things like that. So that's what this prompt was doing. And we're going to actually look at We can do a Viking romance or sci-fi. What do y'all want? What's the preference here?
Sci-fi.
One vote for sci-fi, vote for Viking.
Nicole, may I mention something?
Yes, sir.
I believe it was Jacob who asked about images embedded in documents.
Hmm.
And what I was going to say is my experience with that is that if there is metadata with that photo, it may accidentally get incorporated into your manuscript, into your story Bible.
Yeah. First page. That was right here, Miss Cat. This Google Doc link, it opened up. Or wait, no. I'm trying to think of which one. When I typed in write an outline for a nonfiction book. Okay, let's go back to that because I'm confused on which one you need, but remind me on that so I can show you and make sure you have everything. All right, so it looked like it was about tied for Viking or sci-fi. We had somebody do, say, Viking and sci-fi. Why not? Let's see if we can do that. How many words is this in total? So we have enough words. We can actually fit this inside first draft. All right. In first draft, you cannot press enter. It's going to go. If you press shift enter like you do with ChatGPT, it's still going to go, okay? So I like to actually have my prompt written out somewhere. So I'm just going to copy this and put it in my document. I'm going to refresh because I don't like how that overlapped. All right. So I just need to reword this prompt a little bit. This is my actual story. So I'm going to change that. This is a handy prompt, y'all, for use with first draft. These are not supposed to go here. If you're trying to get ideas from first draft, it loves to write prose, okay? It likes to just get in there and start writing the story. That's what it was designed to do. So if you're just getting ideas like we are, use this prompt, it helps. Is it still 100%? No, I think I have had a couple of times where it still tried to write the story. I just try it again. First draft is not expensive, but this prompt is key. So since I have so much, I'm actually going to put that prompt at the beginning. And I should have it at the end already. No, I don't. So I'm going to have it at the beginning and end. This one's our sci-fi. Sorry, I'm just looking to see what I need to word for things.
You have to put all three brackets there.
You can try it with single, but triple brackets tells the AI, hey, listen up, really pay attention to this. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're supposed to do this. So I found it does help sometimes to use that. All caps works similarly. It tells the AI, pay attention to this.
And Nicole, when you have a second, can you copy and paste the prompt that you used into chat?
Are we talking about this one or the whole Google Doc prompt?
I'm going to say the Sudorite prompt, but I will verify.
There's that. And y'all, everything I give, everything I'm using is in this document. I promise y'all. Might be a little looking for it, but I promise y'all it's in here. I try to share everything. And I'm getting the entire prompt from that Google Doc that is linked right here.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
That's
Thank you.
perfect.
All right, so we got the Vikings at the top, sci-fi at the bottom. I'm actually asking for some repeat stuff, so it may get confused, but I'm going to trust it to be smart enough to give me what I want. So create the following. And I'll copy this too. So for a sci-fi Viking romance, do we want our guy to be from space or the female? Do we want him to be a space Viking?
Sure, let's do a space Viking.
Not sure how that's going to look, but crash lands on Earth. So I'm going to copy this for y'all if y'all want it. But I'm going to take all of this. And see what first draft will give us. Ragnar. Haven't heard that name for a Viking before. That's one thing about AI, y'all, and it's when we get to genres, you're going to hear me preach on that a bit. When it comes to certain elements, the AI leans heavily towards certain names. So I know if I'm doing a fantasy, I am likely going to get a female character named Ilara. If I'm doing a detective novel, there's likely going to be a detective named Jack Stone. If it's contemporary, there's usually a Sarah and Jack. Jack left Jill. He's now hangs out with Sarah all the time in AI world. So it relies very heavily on certain names for certain genres and things. Yes, I love the sparkles for first draft. I wish they had them everywhere. Right, I'm going to close down chat because I'm getting sidetracked here. This glossary, if you're one of those, you want to make up a language or have some semblance of one, doesn't have to be all Game of Thrones level. You can ask First Draft to make a lexicon. We found out me and John Cresson were playing around experimenting with the wording for that to help another user. Lexicon seems to be the magical word. So we can actually do that real quick too. Let's go to a new one and we'll come back and look at this and see what it gave us. So First Draft, I'm telling y'all, it's so versatile. LitRPG people, it can do quest, potions, armor, loot, boss fights, all of that kind of stuff. If you can think of the prompt for it, it will likely do it for you. Sometimes it just needs tweaking for your words. So play around with it. But let's tell it to create a lexicon for let's see how it does with that. I know the actual prompt I used is somewhere in the Discord channel. Oh, see, it's starting to write. So if you want it to stop, it's not giving what you want, hit that refresh button, force it to refresh it. I'm only going to try one more time. See, is this one going to work or not? Nope, it is still wanting to write that. But again, that's what it was programmed to do. I can't be mad at it, but I do love getting it to do everything else. I have to look for my prompt because now I want to make sure it happens again. All right, so this is what it gave us for our character sheets and world building. So we have Ragnar, Origin, Planet Scald, got his ship, I'm just looking, okay, he has cybernetic enhancements in his eyes, allowing him to see in the dark and have enhanced vision, neural implant that enhances his reflexes. All right. So now we're coding it close. So I'm just going to scroll down. We got our research, because in that Viking prompt, I had told it I wanted it to do some research. We have our Viking research here. My original story premise is still here from the English princess. We have some terms. And we have the development, the romantic development right here. Got our secondary characters, all of that. So this is a glimpse of the potential of first draft right there. And again, if you want, play with this for the first, for the Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Now we're cutting it close on the hour, so I'm going to jump over to Brainstorm. So this is another fun feature. And again, LitRPG people, Brainstorm is awesome. So Brainstorm is right here. You'll see a bunch of different boxes. It does not matter which one you click into. I do not have to click on this world building one to do world building. I can click on this world building and ask it to give me lines of dialogue, okay? I can click on this dialogue, ask it to give me world building. The difference in all of this is what it's pre-populated with. Each one is populated with stuff to give you ideas. That's it. You can still use each box for whatever you want. Just delete what it's populated with already. If you don't want to mess with deleting, come to this something else, and that one is blank for you. So give me a list of, let's do our little RPG stuff. Spells and abilities for a druid. Click start. It's going to bring up these cards right here for us. If I need to reword my prompt, I can click this pencil icon, come in here and reword things right here. So I could say, with their effects and cooldowns. So click done, and you have to click refresh for it to do it. So you see here was the original stuff. You can shapeshift, of course, that's Druid for you. And now I asked it for with the effects and cooldowns and refreshed, and here's some things it gives us. So you have the thumbs right here. If you click the thumbs up, it's going to save over here and populate with another card. If you click the thumbs down, cooldown 24 hours, they're not surviving in a LitRPG, that's for sure. It breaks the card, so it doesn't save it, but it does give you a new one. Be careful. This is one of those things, if you have credits to burn at the end of the month, this is something you could play around with. But I want to show you, I'm going to save a couple, and then I'm going to show you the credits. Actually, some pretty good ones here. All right, so I saved a few of them. Now this is good. Let's say I want to get back to my story. Click the save and exit, and I'm back at my story. And I have everything I saved right here. Now, if I go back into Brainstorm, it doesn't, those cards still aren't there, okay? They're gone. So make sure you're done and have everything you want for your exit out. Cost-wise, let's look at our recent activity. So you can see what each of those cost. Looks like this time it did each card breakdown. Normally it lumps them. In first draft, we don't have what it costs, but it's normally 600 to 800 credits. This was a lengthy output, so probably about 800 credits, but you can see brainstorm. So again, this is a way for you to start burning up some credits. If you're on a roll, you're really liking what it gives you, clicking those thumbs, and then you can always save that output into a document. So let's try something. Again, this one is from our Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You can use that one. Let's try this. We'll say Dark Mafia. So catchy opening lines. Dark Mafia romance, enemies to lovers. Let's see what it gives us. Never thought my first meeting with my sworn enemy would involve him saving my life. I actually like that. Oh, sent shivers down their spine. AIism. First time I saw him, he was holding a gun to my head. Sure. Because that's a great way to make a first impression, right? So, again, can save them and exit. Let's do catchy opening lines, but now let's make it horror novel. Let's do body slasher horror novel. Let's see what happens. I'm not crazy about them, but with some tweaking, they could work. I like this one. That one was pretty good. Not bad. So tweak it. If it's not giving you what you want exactly, but it might give you something else, go ahead and change your stuff up. Let's do our,
Just a clarification, what's the point of brainstorm? You're bringing them over and then the AI will use that as information to help write the story?
it will not use it. It's for you to use. So I could, maybe I wanted, for instance, I could brainstorm lines of dialogue for a certain character. I've done this before with my Texas assassin. I wanted to brainstorm some catchy lines that he says to his enemies and stuff before he kills them or when he's threatened. So then I have those lines of dialogue to help fill out my character cards or to use in the story wherever I want them to use. So it's for you. It's just helping you get some ideas for it.
Okay, so AI doesn't pull from it as ideas to use
Correct.
itself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just going to leave it at that. But if I know I wanted him to meet her or something right away, I would have that in there. Be specific. If you know you want the AI to do things a certain way, focus on something, tell it that. It can't read y'all's mind, y'all, when you're going to hear me preach about that a lot once we start going through the boxes. Never believed in love at first sight. Harper, don't you write sci-fi?
Nope, that's Stacy, but
Stacy.
I write fantasy.
This one, I don't write sci-fi. I don't even read sci-fi, but I like that.
No, I do like that.
Absolutely nobody that knows me is surprised that I would like that. Oh, so that's not bad either. I was born to conquer and destroy. I wouldn't have this first part. So remember, you can always edit these. This is actually something I learned recently. And that brings up a good point. I can't tell you how many times somebody is afraid, embarrassed to ask a question. You know, they're like, oh God, these people probably think I'm such an idiot. Again, I've been using Sudorite about 3 years. Me and Stacy were at Arthur Nation at the Sudorite booth, and we had some videos on replay, and one of them happened to be a teacher doing the brainstorm stuff. 3 years of using this program. And I happened to just glance at the TV, and this was a video that had been on repeat for all week. And I happened to see them like that and saw them edit. Took me 3 years before I learned you could do that. So you can actually edit these. So if I save this one, I don't like that first part. Now I can just delete it here. Yes, I can copy it and delete it or edit in a document too, but you can change it here as well. All right. Let me see if I had any other prompts. I do not. Again, brainstorm, first draft. Let's do. I was talking about LitRPG and we did it in brainstorm with the spells and abilities. So let's see what this one does. And I'll copy this too. And I am going to try it without putting that prompt in because I want to give y'all an accurate idea of how often it will try to write prose. So let's see if this is good enough or if we need to give that prompt. Yeah. I swear it does this mostly when I'm trying to show it off. I brag and brag and brag on it.
And like a toddler, you say?
Mm-hmm. I broke it. Now it's like, look, I'm done. I tried to do it. You weren't letting me. Well, I'm messing with this. Are there any questions?
Yes, there is one question. Ray would like to know if this software is suitable for writing his memoir.
Yeah, actually, we had somebody not too long ago that was using it for theirs, and I got to get a glimpse of their writing, and it was beautiful. It did a great job of that. And I know Manal is doing her family's memoir. I think her grandfather's or something like that. You would use. All right, let's try this. There we go. You could use first draft, doing like maybe a chapter at a time if you wanted it. You can use Story Bible. However, it can be tricky to use Story Bible. If you're going to use Story Bible, I actually would not use a lot of the boxes. I would probably go, put nonfiction, memoir, whatever in the genre, the style that you want. And then I would actually go straight to the outline and start giving it what you want. Let me grab that link from that class. And then also, I would suggest a plugin. You can create your own plugin so it writes the way you want it to write and has information that you want it to have. I think that might be the best way to go.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
Yes, sir. Right, so here's the class Mana and I did on nonfiction. Again, she shows her methods for that first half of it, and I show mine in the second half. So you have two teachers right there. We do things different ways. So two of us, and hopefully one of our methods will click for you. All right, so gave us our races. human, elf, dwarf, orc, the usual stuff. The classes for each one. And it gave a little bit about, we got a thief, excellent at backstabbing and surprise attacks. And we have spells and abilities right here. All right, what other questions do we have?
Mike said that he has a question. I don't know if he wants to type it or if you'd rather just unmute and ask.
Okay, thank you. It's about what we've been learning. I just wanted to remember, it seems like you started in Brainstorm with a prompt about the Vikings space. Sorry, not Brainstorm, Brain Dump. Or you mentioned that earlier in when you're talking about the retelling of the Three Little Pigs, where you just put that one line in Brain Dump.
Mhm.
Is that what we did with this Viking thing, or did we jump right into first draft? I can't remember now.
We did brainstorm up here with the little cards and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then we did the first draft, asking it. So tomorrow we are actually going to start in brain dump. But yes, when I say start a story from scratch, this is generally where I want y'all to start. So you're actually going to see me going through. We'll probably still use the Space Viking story, or maybe even another, who knows.
Oh, that in Brain Dump, not
Mhm.
Brain. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you so much.
And that is what I did. Again, y'all, I struggled for 2 weeks trying to get it to write the story I'd already had halfway written. It was very frustrating because I didn't know how to use the program. So I actually gave it a 1 sentence summary right here for another story I just made up on the spot. Put that in brain dump and I went with it from there. Did the brain dump, generated a synopsis, made my edits, made it the story that I want. That's very important. You're going to hear me say that a lot throughout this week. Make it yours. But try to keep it simple and just play around. See what the AI does with what you give it. See how any changes you make to your wording affects what it gives you. That's the best way, in my opinion, to learn how to use this program and fully understand the features. But we'll be diving into brain dump tomorrow. So
Now,
today, oh, sorry.
That's okay. So once you learn the program, you can bring your own ideas in. Is there a specific way to do that or a class to show you how to get what you've already written into this so you can continue?
So that is where this import right here comes in handy. Again, it can hold up to 120,000 words. It's one file. So import what you have there and it will fill things out for you. Let's see, mine is actually in a different project that I did. But whenever you do that big import, it's going to fill out your genre. It'll fill out your synopsis, characters, world building, and outline. And of course, you will go through, make any changes that are needed to it so it's to your liking and all that. Now, let's say you're at the point you don't need it to fill all that out. You actually just want it to help you edit or add some depth to your scenes or whatever. This import right here, you can add in, which is what I did here. So import right here. You can import each document and then I can actually start using it to edit. Sorry, I was trying to make sure I wasn't had anything graphic showing on the screen. So I can start here using my rewrite, my describe, some expand, quick edit. Those are all tools we're going to go over. But if that's all I'm needing, I have most of it written. I just need it to help me just make it better. I would just import here. Yes, it's a little time consuming to do each chapter, but
I'm not that far along, so
okay.
okay.
I would just do that import then right here.
All right, great. Thank you.
Nicole, we do have some other questions.
Okay.
Okay, Kat would like to know, number one, where did you get the stuff you pasted in Sudo in your first document called title here?
Oh, okay. So I just wrote that. I did that in first draft. And in first draft, I just told it write an outline for a nonfiction book about becoming an author. If you ever want to copy this stuff here, if I just highlight it and let go of my mouse, like to try to do right click, that doesn't work. You see, it went away. Highlight it with your mouse, keep holding your mouse down, use your keyboard, Control C. and then that copies it. So there you go. So that's it. I didn't grab it from anywhere. I just put that inside first draft.
And then the second question was, what prompt did you use earlier when you tried to get a lexicon in first draft?
Let's see. None of them worked well. So here's what I put, but that didn't work. I am actually going to search on Discord real quick. Let me see if I can find that exact prompt that we've used. It's not a word that comes up often in Discord, so I might be able to find it. And yeah, so just as a refresher, what we did today was went into Brainstorm, played around with the options there, did the stuff inside first draft. So tomorrow we're going to dive into the Story Bible section. And homework for today, if you're going to be doing the homework, go to that gear icon, choose your settings, your themes, all that stuff, and then decide if you want to do another story premise. If you want to use a space Viking, that's fine. But that's going to be going into our brain dump tomorrow. Whatever story premise you decide to work on, you're welcome to use that. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the comedic retelling of that, if you want. You're welcome to use this one or anything else you want to come up with. Let's see. Okay. Here is the prompt. This is the prompt from Discord of when we were helping that user. So I'm actually going to try it real quick. Let's see how well it works. That way we're using my credits, not yours. That document is just like done with first draft. It's like, no, we're not doing it again. It's very weird. So create a lexicon. This lexicon should contain words and phrases. Let's see what that does. Not as good, but not bad either. So I would play with that one, maybe trying to I bet adding the word comprehensive would help if you're really needing that. What other questions? Sorry, I wanted to find that for y'all in case anybody actually needed it.
I think we're all caught up. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're good. On a very random note, I never get tired of the sparkles.
Man, I really would pay more each month just to have sparkles on everything.
I know. I
Oh.
wanted to work in chapter generator like that.
Yes. Can you imagine if it was like a theme? Sparkly.
Ooh, yes.
Everything you do generates sparkles. And like maybe some of them explode across your screen. Okay. In this lexicon, 3 races in Arendelle. There you go.
I'm just butting in again to just say the sparkles. They show up on the end of the, oh, you can't see the sparkles either. Okay. So like when she generated as it created the words, there were like sparkles that kind of like go at the end of the oh, what do you call that thing that
Cursor?
yes, cursor. Yes, they kind of go at the end of the cursor as it creates words. And it's only something that Brainstorm or First Draft does.
And I did notice, like once it starts getting towards the end of the document, they seem to go away. I don't know why.
Yeah, I did notice that too.
Let's see what our first draft told us. So 667 credits. And then the other times you can see those 768 and 442. So it's not expensive at all, really. And again, this is just the tip of the iceberg on what it's capable of doing. It is using ChatGPT, but it's uncensored. One of my favorite prompts. I know we're going over. If y'all need to leave, that's fine. I understand, but I do want to make sure I catch questions. So if anybody has one, interrupt me. But so it is using ChatGPT, but it is uncensored. So I can tell it, write an outline for a nonfiction book. We want to take bets? Is it like going to say, she said we were uncensored, let's make a liar out of her? Or
I'm gonna vote that. Let's hope not, though. I'm crossing my fingers.
Nope. I've done it on how to rob a bank or how to get away with robbing a bank, ways to hide a body. I'm not a murderer, y'all, okay? I'm a writer. And we were just playing around, like we really wanted to see how far it would go. But I have tried similar prompts inside ChatGPT because I do pay for ChatGPT, and I got kicked out of my account. Like it was not having it. You got to answer these annoying puzzles to get it back in. I thought maybe it's a glitch. Let me try it again. Gave it the prompt. Nope. Once again, kicked out. Famous serial killers who got away with it. Well, Ted Bundy didn't get away with it though, really. I mean, oh, look, encouragement. It did not. Encouragement to pursue your goals and dreams, even if they are unconventional and controversial. I like it. Just for that last little line right there. I want to see how that chapter gets written. Not bad at all, though. Oh, did y'all see the sparkles that time? Yeah.
I was watching them. Okay, Ray also wants to know, can I import finished chapters with images from Scrivener?
I do not, if you're talking about this import right here, I don't know how the images are going to, I don't think they're going to pull in. Now, John Creason has a way to, but I think his might only work from the Midjourney server. I'm not sure. He has been able to copy a link to that picture and then paste it into a Sudowrite document. But I know there's some nuances, some guardrails in place around that. So I do think you might have trouble with the picture. But hey, we have visualize here. So let's look at, let's see what visualize does for us. And while that's generating, I've done, let me pull up where it's at. No, wrong one. So like these are some things you can do with visualize. So this is one of my settings. Of those. So we do have the visualize feature. Ooh. Not what I was expecting, but not bad either. All right, so we are 15 minutes over. Sorry about that. Just in case somebody needs this, I'm going to share the link again. I'm also going to go ahead and stop the recording. I am going to hang around for anybody else that has questions they didn't want to ask on the recording. But there's the document. Again, we did day 1. So if you want to do the homework, here it is right here, and just some notes, but it's my spiel about, doing that starter project from scratch. So thank y'all for hanging out with me on day 1, and I hope to see y'all the rest of the week. Bye, everybody.